going on, everyone? We're at Good Hope Hydroponics, Virginia. My name is Emmanuel, co-founder of Genetic Reserve and founder of Earthstrong Global. Today we'll be doing a grower's interview. I got into growing, obviously I started smoking like middle school, high school time. It just kind of was like a lifestyle thing with the homies, just kicking it, and it turned into me just like being the person, the go-to person for like the good stuff and like the good flowers, and eventually I thought, man, why not just turn yourself into the source? Like, when it comes to clean cannabis, you can do it with synthetics and you can do it with organics. It's possible, but it just depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for pretty weed, synthetics. If you're looking for terpy, more in your face, kind of like smacks you across your face type of cannabis, I would say go with organics. Stick to like a more organic soil. Best way to do it is honestly try to replicate what's on the ground outside when you walk in like a really green, thick area. I would love to say those two go hand in hand, but this is an either or question. If you are going to sacrifice one or the other, genetics over environment for me. Like I said, those two go hand in hand. Her name is Adri, and she is the founder of Be The Weed. I highly suggest you guys shoot her an interview over next. She's got all the knowledge you might need. She also does have a page, a website where a lot of her technique is posted on there. It's a lot of secrets that, I mean, I wouldn't even be willing to spill myself. I'm sorry, I hit that thing, but I don't know. She honestly taught me how to like talk to my plants for real. I thought I was doing it before. Adri showed me how to do it. Honestly, fungus is like the best way to do so. If you guys are asking my method, or like, that's my secret right there. Take some fungus and do some fungus into yourselves, and go talk to your plants. Yeah, I definitely take advice from other growers. I highly suggest keeping an open ear, asking other people questions, just even reaching out and being like, yo, your flower is fire. How did you, like, you know, like, what's your secrets or whatever. Don't ask them what their secrets are, obviously, but like, ask them, you know, what their method is, how do they grow, what their medium is. And our biggest goal as growers is to get new growers on board, is to get people who are, you know, kind of on the fence about it, is to get new people on board. So be that person who takes other people under their wing. I'm sorry about the background noise. There's somebody out here who have some clients in the store. With my experience, I think that every plant kind of has its own tailor like needs. So I've heard other people kind of mention that their plants do get affected by like other ones in the garden. However, with my experience, I've never seen just because one plant is looking kind of frail or down, others are being affected by that one's, you know, like that one's stage or wherever they're at in their growth. Like for example, I've seen plants praying with their hands like this, and I've seen plants, you know, frail, and it might be because of the light. There might be too much excessive light, or there might be a clog in the roots, or, you know what I mean? Like, there's a million different ways that can go wrong in each plant, especially when it comes to genetic. If you're growing like a tent full of the same clone, you're not going to see really like, you're not going to see any like differences. As long as you're feeding them the same, treating them the same, you're not going to see like any plant-to-plant differences. But if you are dealing with different genetics in the same kind of environment and you're feeding them the same, you are going to experience that you're going to need to tailor some needs, especially when it comes to different genetics. So honestly, I feel like they don't affect each other plant to plant. They do communicate, definitely. They have their own language 100%, but I think that if one plant's doing well, the one next to it can easily be just excelling because of the environment. Yeah. Like I mentioned, the most difficult part honestly is if it's not holding on to a certain strain or a keeper. Most difficult part to me is tracking dates. Just making sure that like I'm keeping on point with my dates, knowing when to flower, knowing when I transplanted something, knowing when a clone was, or a cut was taken, or just tracking dates and keeping like notes of everything as my artist.
Yeah, starting the grow community.
If we're talking about the DMV specifically, focusing on the DMV, ego is definitely playing a big role. I think it's more negative right now than it is positive. I think that for sure ego can kind of be used in like a positive manner if you treat your ego and like treat other people with respect. Honestly, for example, where I see it going left and being a negative factor in the DMV, I just see a lot of people like downing each other. A lot of growers who might be ahead in their game, who might be like 15 years deep in this shit, hating on like somebody like me who's like 3 or 4, you know, or 5 or whatever years into this shit. Like, even if they're a new grower just starting out, like they're just throwing shade or not uplifting each other in a positive manner. And I think that's where we're going wrong with the DMV, is just kind of knocking each other down for what their plants look like or how far along in their stages are there, when we don't really recognize the path that we had to get, you know, we had to travel to get here. That being said, I feel like we have to kind of look at where the markets are successful, and if you kind of dive into the successful markets, say like California, Colorado, Oregon's got a pretty dope market. If you travel and go take a look on your feet, you see that a lot of brands and senior companies and umbrella companies are kind of, are like I said earlier, taking smaller companies under their wing and giving them a platform to excel, which kind of inspires them to keep going, and it brings more small-time growers and sometimes growers who are like on the fence, like people who might grow vegetables, like I want to start growing cannabis. Like, it kind of gets them more excited to join the community and like put their whatever on Instagram or on Facebook or however you're promoting your stuff, start a brand. Going back to what I was saying though, I think that there's a lot of hate going on in our community. There's a lot of negative energy and disrespect going around, especially in Virginia and DC. I mean, Maryland kind of excludes themselves out of the situation a little bit, but based on what I see on feet and like being in and out of this community every day, there's a lot of just disrespect and hate going around. So I think if we cancel that out and we kind of collectivize, put more people onto our platforms, whether that just be a repost, a comment under somebody's page, and like somebody sees like, oh, like this person fucks with this person, and it's like a chain effect of just like a compound community that just builds on top of each other. And I think as a DMV being like, you know, a center for talent, art, and like whatnot, we can, as a brand, probably be, you know, top 5, whether top 10, like of cannabis markets in the entire world. Extremely huge platform to make waves in the industry, to be coming out with strains that, you know, are colossal as Runts, or colossal as, you know, like Gelato was back in the day, or as colossal as OG Kush was when it was its prime time. Right now we're waiting on the next Vex thing, for sure. That's gonna like rock the whole market like Runts did.